Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's such a pleasure to have you here with us today. We're going to be talking about your app, your way, no coding needed. Very, very interesting topic, I must say. You can imagine, building an app or having an automated process without actually coding. It's going to be a wow. I mean, for a lot of people who are looking into going into tech and they dread that coding part, I'm very sure that today's webinar is going to be a beautiful session that you're going to love and you're going to learn, and it promises to be very insightful and very, very engaging. Today, we have beautiful speakers with us that are going to be throwing deep and insightful deep and insightful thoughts through this journey of no coding at all. With us on the team today. Okay, so if you can hear me, can you kindly, probably raise your hand or use your emojis to just say hello, good evening, so we know that we are together.
Hello, good evening. Glad to be here.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Good evening. Anybody, anyone else? Hello, are we there, please? I need responses so we can move ahead.
Yeah, they can hear us. Who have joined us from different platforms. So yeah, you're live here with us. So good.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you very much for that, Philip. So without wasting our time, we're just going to go deep into the topic for today, which is your app, your way. Of course, no coding needed at all. I'm very, very pumped today to really know what this no coding is about. But really, aside just the topic alone, the platform that has given us this opportunity to come and learn and experience such great insight is a company called Descasio. Descasio is a consulting company that offers services various in various technology process business automation. So today we'll be learning more about its newest product on the block, which is called Plug. And then you might be wondering, what is Plug? The Plug is a no-code automation platform that allows businesses to easily streamline their business process without any prior knowledge of coding. That's quite interesting. I can imagine. It empowers businesses to accelerate their digital transformation journey and through no code technologies by helping to build complex, scalable, and secure applications without need for traditional coding. Wow, I am really, really ready to hear what this is about because I'm one of those who really like tech but would not want to code at all. But we'll see what this journey today takes us to. So thank you once more for joining us. Quickly, as we begin, I'm just going to introduce our speakers for today. We have two speakers on queue for today who will be taking us through this journey of no code. And of course, will be sharing their wealth of knowledge with us and helping us understand exactly what this no code business is about, how we can implement it into our businesses, and how that can actually propel our businesses to become to have a better business automation processes. Thank you very much for being with us today. And so, first on the queue, I have the person of Ibrahim Ukifili. He's a founder, No Code Academy. Ibrahim is a seasoned product developer and a dedicated no code evangelist, driven by his commitment to use technology to drive positive change. He is the founder of Nook Academy, a startup that empowers creators to bring their ideas to life without hassle of learning to code. Ibrahim firmly believes in no code's potential to democratize digital innovation, making product development accessible to all. Thank you very much. We can welcome Ibrahim with our emojis or round of applause. You're very much welcome, Ibrahim, today, and we're very sure that you'll be sharing with us from your wealth of knowledge. And second on the queue with us is Abdulganiu Abiodun Ajayi. He is a seasoned product manager with over 7 years of experience leading the management of various digital products across multiple industries. Currently, he oversees the Casio suite of products. I must say, he's one of the brains behind the plot that we shall be hearing today and learning about. Okay, the Casio suite of products, which includes a no-code automation platform, which is Plug. Like I earlier on said, he is one of the big brains behind the no-code. Aside from work, Abdugani also dedicates his time to mentoring pre-tertiary students and undergraduates, aiming to help them prepare for fulfilling careers in their respective fields. I mean, if you talk about mentorship, Abdugani is there. If you talk about, bringing things to life, bringing the coding world to life, Abdugani is there. Thank you very much, our speakers, for being with us today, and we are looking forward to hearing from you and having indeed a wonderful time. Thank you very much. Philip, I guess we can go into our question sessions now, right?
So just before that, we can have Ibrahim just enlighten us more on the coding, on the no code um, spectrum, on the no code space. Then before we progress to questions, so I think we should go that way.
Okay. So Ibrahim, you're welcome once again. So we are being very cautious about our time, so we are ensuring that we keep to time. So, Ibrahim, kindly just tell us about what this no code is. I mean, how can you build an app? How can you be in tech without coding? Like, I'm really, really curious to know to know what that is about. So, can you share with us, please?
Thank you very much, Umama. So excited to be here. And, um, if I think the first thing we need to know about no code is primarily about empowerment, right? Because the way we see tech many years ago, right? It is very difficult for someone to actually come into tech and then build technical stuff, right? I'm talking about building mobile application, building website, or doing business automation, right? It's very difficult. But today, with the rise of no code, we are seeing a lot of awesome innovation being vetted, by creators, founders, entrepreneurs that doesn't even have the knowledge of writing code, but they are giving birth to a lot of awesome, solution out there, and that is what no code is all about, right? Um, I want to be able to innovate, without bothering myself about going to, learning how to code. I want to be able to build innovative stuff without, hiring developer to now paying thousands or thousands of dollars before my idea could come to life. And with the knowledge of having uh, bringing two or more local tools or platforms together, you can actually create magic. Basically, that is what no code is all about. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Ibrahim. That's quite interesting. So you're telling me that as someone who has not even studied anything concerning science, not to talk of going into computer, I can actually start building apps or I can get into tech without coding. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely, yes. At No Code Academy, we've seen a quite number of our students that are building automations, leveraging on tools like Maker, Sapia, Airtable, right? We've seen a lot of students that are actually building, for companies outside Nigeria, and they're earning substantial amount of money, just because they have this knowledge, right? So that is what No Code is all about. Imagine the time you are going to spend, learning to code and then bringing everything together. And then let's say you are building like a financial application, MVP in like 2 weeks or sometimes 1 week. And that is it. So ability to actually build something faster, test it out there, and then getting people to jump on it, use it, and then even making revenue from it. So so that is it. Yeah.
Okay, when you mentioned revenue, it really resonated with me. I'm very sure a lot of people too, are looking at how to make extra income or another side hustle. And you've been really talking very interesting stuff you just said now. So, if you would, if you would let us kindly turn on your videos so we can see your face as you speak, so we know who is the brain behind this No Code Academy. Thank you very much for that, Ibrahim. Thank you. Okay, so to my first question, really, Ibrahim, what would you say is the current landscape on no code or low code platforms in Nigeria today, or maybe in an extension Africa? What would you say has is currently happening? How far can it go? How long do you think this can be sustainable? Even the apps you're building without codes, really, how sustainable do you think it can be?
Okay, so I think the current landscape, if we check around, so we have some no-code tools that are more popular than others. We're talking about tools like Webflow, tools like Elementor, Bubble, right, and also tools like let's say Adalo for mobile app, and then other automation, workflow automation tools like that. So they are making wave, and then these are the tools that enterprise are leveraging on to actually automate their business operations, right? And as for me personally, I do a lot of consulting for businesses, and one of the major thing I do is sales funnel, right? Building a very converting sales funnel for enterprise, and then every day I use tools like WordPress, Elementor, and Airtable and the likes. You know, doing this for global operation and then making a lot of money is as actually resonating. I'm actually coming from coding background. I was a developer, but I realized that if you actually want to empower businesses out there, we have to like evangelize for no code, low code tools and platform so that everybody can come together and then innovate faster. And that is it. So the current landscape is creators that actually want to like test out their stuff very faster, and then they are leveraging on all these tools. Entrepreneurs that doesn't know much about coding, and then the person want to actually automate part of his or our operations. So the next thing they needs to do is to jump on local tools. Let's say Soho, for instance. Soho is one of the most completed SaaS application out there, and it is 100% no code. You can do a lot of things. I even do, so consulting for a lot of our enterprise out there. Like, oh, you don't even need to go and hire a developer. If you can actually study this so all to for like a week, you can actually take your business to the next level. So these are the current flow in the market, and then these are the kind of problem that no code tools and platform are solving, and then they are solving it at scale, right? So as it is now, yeah, I don't know if I answered that question or if you can frame it.
Yeah, yeah, you actually did. Thank you for that. Really, it's quite insightful that businesses can actually deploy such processes in their organizations, and they don't need to know coding, as it were, because one of the things that businesses are facing is hiring, back end developers and all of that, and how it can go with their remuneration. So everyone is looking at doing much more and saving costs. So and from what I hear you say, one of the advantages of this no code platforms, it helps to save cost, right? If I'm correct.
Exactly, that's
And yeah,
correct.
and also it help businesses to innovate faster, other than going back and trying to sort out the code. It takes a lot of processes. But with this advent, I mean, things are moving on a faster level, on a faster scale, and ideas are being birthed probably on a daily basis. Maybe we can get to the point of an hourly basis.
Yeah.
So I think you actually answered that question very well. Very well. Thank you for that. So would you be able to highlight the trends or the adoption rates of the impact on the tech industry? Because I mean, for instance, if I'm a backend developer, or like you said, you used to be someone who codes, and now you have left coding and focused on no code building on no code entirely. So how would you say um, the industry has adopted this, and how are people being able to transition from coding to no code?
Okay, I think that is two in one question. Let me pick the first one. How our businesses are using no code? Is that correct?
Pardon?
I actually want to take the question one after the other. I think the first question you
Okay.
asked is how are businesses using no code? Is that correct?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. So I'm going to use a kind of a scenario that happens 2 years ago when I was working with a company. Um, during I think this was during coronavirus, so I was hired by this consulting firm, and then what it told me basically was we want to convert our Nest.js website to WordPress. And I was asking myself, like, why do you want to do that? Right? A lot of people believe that, if you are building with all these latest technologies such as React, Nest.js, Node.js, and the likes, you can actually build a very robust application and stuff like that, right? So when I came in, so I was supposed to lead three of other developers to work on this project. We are talking about more than 25 internal operation websites, right? And then we will have to convert everything they have powered by Nest.js, to WordPress. And this is where you learn about business operations and how no code comes in place, right? So the first thing we did is to design the same UI they have with a tool called Elementor, and then with that we're able to design custom UI, right, and ensure that is a very very fast task. And then one of the leverage that no code give us out of the box is SEO. Every businesses need SEO, right? And then for us using WordPress,
Please, what's NCO? Can you tell us the full
search
meaning of
engine
NCO?
optimization. I'm talking about search engine optimization, right?
Okay.
So the first thing we integrated was working on the SEO, because by default, if you're using WordPress, it gives you default well optimized website, well SEO optimized website. We're able to take advantage of that. And the next thing we do is to automate every backend operation so that the what's it called, the sales team, the growth team can actually do their own stuff by their own, by themselves. So we don't need to doing some kind of a custom operation, writing code. Maybe sales team want to adjust a form on the website, or the marketing team want to do some marketing integration. So all these no code tools give them advantage to actually do this themselves. So they don't have to call developer, they don't have to be running after developer within the company to do stuff for them. So these are the kind of thing that no code tools are solving. And when we are able to do that, I think it took us a year before we could complete all the website development. And then the business operation give us a report that this actually catapult their growth level, by 45%. And that is very, very huge. Imagine as a sales person, I didn't know anything about tech. I can easily optimate form, create form at the back end, and then click reflect, and then I can actually send it to clients and then gather information and stuff like that. You cannot do that if you are doing all this coding kind of a technology. So, but with no code, we're able to automate that for sales team, business team, marketing team, growth team, and then this bring the business operation, to 45%. So that is, the first question. I think I answered the first question. Can you come again with the second question, please? Maybe you can remind me.
Okay. Yes, you actually did answer the first question very, very, very well. And what I hear you say is that no code platforms really empowers basically the entire organization really to be able to work without calling, oh, I need this help, oh, I'm waiting for the tech team to do this, oh, I'm waiting for this person to do that. So it just really empowers each employee to be able to do their work effectively and faster. So I think you really answered that question, and thank you very much. But for now, I think I would like to hear some thoughts from Abdul Ghani, what he thinks about this no code. And it's just kindly just Abdul Ghani, can you hear us, please? Are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening,
Okay,
everyone.
great.
Are you hearing me as well?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you for joining us today. So, we've been speaking to Ibrahim, and he has been giving us quite a lot of insight on how no code platforms are empowering businesses, empowering the entire organizations for their staff to be able to run processes, without the bottleneck of going back to the tech team to do this, to do that. And really, like you said, it has for some businesses with the feedback they've gotten, it has helped their business processes and scaled them up by 45%. So really, I would like you to just tell us the benefits of no code technology for businesses.
All right. Thank you very much. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Ibrahim and Mama, for that solid foundation for the conversation. So, taking it further, I would like to share some visuals. Please let me know once you can see my screen. I'm sharing my screen now. Can you confirm you can see my
Yes, we can
screen?
see your screen.
Okay,
So we
thank
can.
you very much. So,
Okay.
building on the foundation that has been laid already, developers or even anybody that is quite close to development or digital products will also agree with this assertion that traditional software development is just very cumbersome. And as a matter of fact, retired developers like Ibrahim will definitely agree with you that yes, this is a fact. And the fact that it is cumbersome is not just related to one aspect, it's about every step involved in software development. If you are doing it by traditional method of writing code and doing all the technicalities involved, but additionally, the fact that the school version can actually be avoided. I mean, even from the very simple task of installing the tools that you will use to build your software. For example, if you are a developer building mobile apps some years back, one of the first tools that you will install on your system is Android Studio. That system, that tool alone, um, junior developer or beginners can hardly install it on their own without guidance. I mean, these are guys that want to build software and you spend weeks even to set up the environment alone. From that, so even when you are coding, you get to see that comma, semicolon, question mark start becoming very, very important. I mean, when you make mistake of putting semicolon where you're not supposed to put, then it gets very difficult. You spend maybe like 2 hours to write the code and then 3 hours to debug your code. So it's just very, very complicated. And even when you are done with your coding and you deploy to the server, you see that what has worked on your machine, on your local system, and for some very weird reason, does not just work on the server again and start debugging, spending countless of time. But you see, with this advent of no code approach, just like Ibrahim has been explaining, all those things are no longer there. So you don't have to spend time learning syntax, data structure, algorithm, learning all these programming languages. You don't need all that. Just understand the logic that you want to use to build the application and just use Visual Tool and start building right away without so much time. But then now to your question, Umama, for businesses, there are quite a number of benefits that businesses stand to gain, and businesses of different sizes, from startups to solopreneurs, people that just have idea and want to build their next billion-dollar company. But then to start to take that first step becomes a very difficult thing because they need to rely on developers who will start telling them that that your idea is not easily implementable, or you need a lot of money to implement those ideas. So those category of business as well will benefit a lot from no code. And even enterprises, businesses, big businesses like Ibrahim has mentioned as well, benefit a lot from no code, low code platforms. So from reducing the cost of development, while you will not need to hire lots of developers, you hire front-end developers, hire back-end developers, you hire DevOps engineer, you hire testers, a lot of people, professionals that will have to work together to make sure that you are building the products right and on time. So with no code, you don't need all those people. You just need few people who understand what you are building, and even if it is not a very complicated business, then you can actually do it yourself. So that is one critical importance or benefit that no code brings to businesses. And in addition, as well, especially for businesses that are just starting up. So one critical thing that they need to do is that you need to reduce your time to market. You don't spend so much time developing a product. And when you are now done building all the functionality and take it to the market is telling you, oh no, this product is good, but if you have brought it um, last year, they will have bought it. So you don't need that long time. So, and that is why when you are using local platform, it gives you that benefit that from your idea, you start building and take it to the market. You get the feedback from the market and you iterate rapidly using the feedback from the market. That's benefits is a lot for especially small businesses that are just starting up, and even for big businesses as well. You can build your solution in agile way, which means that you can, for example, what Ibrahim mentioned about business that want to convert their platform from JavaScript to WordPress. And so with no code, you can actually start doing that bit by bit. You can select them in modules and say, okay, let's focus on procurement business processes. They'll do that automation, ship it, and continue with other ones. So while they're doing that, business will not have to stop because they are building. So that agile prototyping is very, very easy and convenient with no code. And of course, when you are now done, you don't have to be struggling with bugs, debugging, spending weeks, several hours debugging, looking for where semicolon is missing and where a period is missing. And of course, the biggest of it all is the fact that you don't need programming skills. You don't have to go through um, months of learning programming languages before you can start using no code tools and bringing your business ideas to life, or automating critical business processes in your organization. So these are just some of the very key benefits to businesses. I don't know if you have further question, or I can still maybe share more insights around the no code landscape.
Okay, yes, please. I think you've done justice to this question, but in furtherance to that question, I would like you to share, real world, share real world examples of case studies that have used no code and it was a success. Because we hear these things, and maybe sometimes for some of our businesses, probably we're using them, we don't even realize that we're using them. So, but when you begin to share examples or case studies, well, now, oh, okay, so this thing is actually real, this is possible, but now we're just talking and talking. So if you can give us real case studies that have used no code and it has actually worked.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll do that using two approaches. So one, I have here some examples, real world examples of real businesses that are using no code, low code at some for some of their operations, or even all of their operations in some cases, and also our own product plug. I'll also showcase how it works and how can be used to automate processes as well for organizations. So, like I said, these are some use cases. So, Comet is one business that was built entirely using no-code platforms, no-code tools, without writing "Hello World" in any programming language at all. So, and as you can see here, so it's a freelance platform. It means that some guys just have they had some idea about creating a platform, but rather than getting bogged down by the requirements, the technical requirements of what do I need to build this platform? What server do we need to procure? And what programming language should we use that is scalable? All those things, they do not need to think about that. They just need to move from their own idea of building a platform and using the tools together and building it. And within 3 years, they were able to raise over like 14 million euros, and also even generating monthly recurring revenue of $800,000 within a few years. That's huge, given that they are running a technology platform, but then they do not use the traditional route to building platform, which means they do not use any software developer at all in building their platform. That is one very good example of how businesses use no code. And there are similar examples like that as well, on how businesses actually start from ground zero to building their entire platform using no code tools. So, which means that they use a tool. For Comet, for example, they use Webflow to build the interface for their platform. They use Zapier to do integration with some other systems as well. And they use some other tools to do connection about workflow automation and all that. So if you use like 3, 4 automation tools or no code tools, and then you can build an entirely big business, then that's a huge one for the industry. So, and the same is for other businesses that I highlighted here. Scribbly as well. They built a content managing marketing agency from ground zero without writing any code at all. And within like 6 to 8 weeks, they are able to completely build that platform. I mean, development work will take a lot of time. Even after you're done, you spend, even this time is not may not even be enough to test what they have built. But then
Wow.
they did everything, development, testing, shipping it, taking it to the market within under 2 months. It means that from ideation to building the product and hitting the market, everything within 8 weeks. So that is huge, and that flexibility and enablement comes with no code and low code platform. And then you do not even need to start learning all the technology before you can start using them. But beyond even startups or businesses that built their platform entirely with no code, a lot of very, very big businesses are also using no code to automate some of their processes. Goldman Sachs is one of them. Insurance companies, this is even very common. As even at Descasio here, we're working with a lot of insurance companies to help them automate their critical operational processes and end-to-end automation from maybe the customer-facing angle to the back office operations to whatever third party or other organizations that need to be involved in the operation. All the processes that are involved along the way are all automated. So these ones, even when you are interacting with these organizations, you may not feel like, oh, these platforms are built with no code, but then the back end is actually no code for majority of them. Accenture, they built an entire infrastructure with no code, working with some enterprise no code platform, and a lot of other ones that's in from health, insurance, financial services, industries, just any company, um, any industries. You have companies that are using no code to automate their platform, to automate their processes, to build a lot of platforms using maybe one or two, a combination of 2 or 3 no code tools together. And yes, they get the results. Maybe towards the end of the session, I'll run through a demonstration of how our own product Plug can be used to achieve similar results with business process automations. Okay, maybe I should stop there now if there are other ones, or
Yeah.
before I keep up the demonstration briefly and maybe audience will ask some questions.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I mean, we're not going to wait till the end of this session before we are going to demonstrate. We'll be demonstrating our product called Plug, which Abdugani is the one of the brains behind that product. But before we go into that live demo, I want to say a very big thank you to Abdugani for making yourself available and answering so brilliantly, our questions. And for me, as a human resource professional, one of my KPIs is actually to save costs. So what I just keep hearing is low cost, and with the change in the FX, lots of Nigerian businesses are looking for alternatives that would help them, really reduce costs. That would really help them have a seamless process that will reduce costs and help them to be more efficient in their business processes. And I think this this no code way is actually the way. So thank you so much, Abdul Ganiu. But before we move into the live demo session, I would like to ask us to drop our questions, just write them down. I know we have lots of questions in our minds. Just kindly write them down and we'll get to your questions very, very soon. So thank you once more for joining us. And at this time, we'll be moving to our live demo session of our product at Discasio called Plug. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just like to do a overview of what the platform does, what Plug does. So basically, there are. Let me also share this. So Ibrahim has mentioned some no-code tools before, but here we have quite a number of examples of no-code builders. And because no-code is now a very big industry, so there are quite a number of the no-code tools for specific purposes. So you have tools that are specifically made for building mobile application. Some are for integrations. Some are for business applications. A lot of categories like that for specialization. But Plug fit into the business application part. So it is a product or a platform that is used to automate business processes generally, of just any kind of processes end to end. And so I'll run through the demonstration, but the key features of the platform are: one, you can build automation from the platform, which means that whatever kind of process that you have in your organization, you can use Plug to automate those processes. And the good thing here is that the automation will not be done by developers. It will be done by people within the organization who understand how things are done, like the process owners themselves. This is how we do our process in this company. So they do not need to hire developers that will now spend long time explaining how the process should work. And even at the end of the day, after building the automation, they will still say that, no, this one is different from how we actually have it. So that challenge has been solved totally with no-code platform like Plug. So with Plug, you can just hand over the tool to the business owners themselves who understand that business process that they want to automate, and they'll just use it, drag, drop, and configure, and they'll build the entire automation end to end without any hassle. And even after the automations are built, so automation is one part of business operational efficiency. Another very critical part is visualization. So data exists everywhere, but then how do management make informed decision from the data that they have? And that is why visualization is also very, very important. And that is also obtainable on Plug platform. And as well as we have been talking about since, so it takes a lot of systems to attain full automation. So, and one gap that is always there, that organizations of different sizes always face, is that challenge of integration. They'll have database, maybe two, three databases holding similar data, but then they are not talking to one another. They'll have one HRM system somewhere, they have another ERP system somewhere holding similar data and processes, but then they are not talking to one another. So if you need something, you spool out report or export from this system, you spool out from another system, maybe like three systems together, and then start to join the data together. All those things are not necessary again with Plug. Plug is just making it very, very seamless. All your infrastructure, all your data sources, all your systems can now be connected together with Plug. And on top of that, security is top notch. We have very strong security architecture for the platform. So without boring you with the details again, so let me just quickly showcase how the platform works at a very high level. So so I'll skip the part of the onboarding, registration, and all of that, and I'll explain the process of actually building an automation on Plug. So to build automation on Plug, similar to other no-code platforms as well, you only need to follow two steps. One is that you will build an interface. This is like what the end user will be seeing when they're interacting with your automation. So normally that step alone will require front-end developer to build using HTML, CSS, lots of JavaScript framework as well, maybe React, Angular, Vue.js, a lot of technologies bundled together before you can build front end. But with Plug, you don't need all those things. Just drag whatever components you need, and you can configure it with the visual tool without any coding at all. So, and that is the first step. The second step then is that you will implement the business logic. You want, of course, the automation to go in a certain way. So how exactly you want it to go, you can implement it using the workflow. And once you're done with these two steps, you can publish the app. And without having to think about DevOps and so many other technicalities, the automation can start, can be used immediately by the end users. So I'll just quickly illustrate that with this application. So it's an insurance application. So let me just show how to build the interface. Okay, so for example, let me build an interface quickly using our UI builder. So to build an interface, so we have what we call component toolbox. So it has components, all components that you want, that you may need to build a very efficient interface for your automation. So from maybe text or images that you want to add on a screen, so you drag whatever component that you need, you drop it on the canvas, and then you configure how exactly you want the components to look like, the look and feel, the color, the positioning, everything. All those things that normally would require lengthy code. Just do that with visual thing here. And just any kind of component that you want to add, maybe it's table that you want to add, just drag it, drop it on the screen, and you can configure straight away. And as well, you can even add just any kind of form input as well on your automation on your screens. So from text input to drop down, so all the form component that you may think of, file upload, even electronic signature, you can just need to click here and you add it to your form. It's that straightforward. And each of these components can easily be configured. So for example, if you need to add a drop down, you can configure the drop down to maybe pick data from a database, for example. You can do so many other things about the configuration of form input. For text input, for example, you can configure it maybe to limit the number of characters that you want the end user to be able to supply. So many other configurations, the look and feel, the coloring, everything can be configured there. File upload, you can configure it to the minute details. Like you can indicate the kind of file that you want the end user to be able to upload. You can toggle on whether to make it required or not. You can even select the maximum file size that you want the end user to be able to do to upload. So all these configuration can easily be done on the screen like this. You do not need to write code to say, okay, only accept PDF file or only accept text file alone without, if you supply this file, then do this. All those lengthy line of code are not necessary again. Just clicking of a button here, it activates it, and you do not need to worry yourself about the backend code again. And when you are done with this user interface, dragging and dropping, configuring, changing the coloring, positioning, all the look and feel, scheduling or formatting, you can, when you are done with all of this, move on to the next step as I've explained earlier. And that is where you implement the logic. And similar to that, user interface design as well. So all you need to do is just to drag whatever components you want and drop it. So if you want the user to see a screen, you drag a screen component here and you drop it on the canvas. And as you can see, this looks very much like you are creating a flow chart, because that is what it is. Every business person will understand flow charts, that, okay, this is how I expect the process to flow from someone submitting the form, take this data and send it to this person, and do some computation from it, and do a lot of other things, sync with this other system, get response from this system and take it further. So you build it exactly as you want, as you can see here as well. So if, for example, you want a notification to go out after a certain step, you just drag the notification node, you drop it, and you connect them together with the node. So that flexibility is obtainable here on Claw. And when you are now done with everything, you just need to click on publish button. And what ideally an IDE will do for a developer is what this publish button, simple button, will do. So it will validate everything that you have done, all the form that you have built, all the automations that you have done, and will check where error is, and will even direct you specifically to where there is an error, and we say, okay, go here and fix the error. And once you have fixed it, it will then be able to publish successfully and can then be used immediately. So that is just basically the process of building an automation. And even when you are now done building the automation, when the end user wants to start using it, so there are several ways that you can use to do that. So, but one way is that they can click on this launch button, and once they click on it, what you have built will then be immediately accessible to them. You do instantly, immediately you publish, and the publishing goes through. So once they click on it, they can start using it. And because this is a process automation tool, they can even track their requests, their workflows. So whenever someone initiates a process, they can track the progress of their request from this analytics menu. They'll check if their request is pending on a particular person's desk, and if they need to do follow-ups, they can come here and track everything. The flexibility to configure as they like is here on Plug. And even when a task is getting delayed for so long, they can come here and maybe send reminder, or the admin can even reassign the task to someone else. So, and you can see this automation process now picks my data automatically because I've logged in, and without needing to manually input my data at all, it picks it up and even generates an automatic ID that goes with every request so that you can track everything. And once you're done, let me just fill this form, for example. Uh, just a minute. So this is a process of requesting reimbursement for an expense that has already been made. So all these configurations are done the way I showed just some few minutes earlier. And say you can upload any kind of file as configured, and with the restriction that the process creator has already built into it. And once you are done with this step, as you submit, the initiator, like I mentioned, can come here and continue to be tracking the progress of their request. Maybe a line manager will have to review and accept and approve it. If it is rejected, what else they need to do, they can track everything here. And for example, this one that I've submitted, so I will get a notification automatically that my request has been logged, and I can track the request and do um, follow up on my request as I want. So the mail will come to the initiator in the inbox. So just the mail just arrived now. So, and the mail can be configured however you want it. So it picks up the details from the form that I just filled now and send the custom mail to the recipient. And the same thing will also go to the manager, and they can then follow up like that. So just because of time, I'll stop that one there, and I'll just showcase some other aspect of the product. So also, like I mentioned, Plug does a very fantastic job in integrating with other systems. So Plug can connect to just any system that uses REST API. So from Google services to Microsoft services, DBs, just any system that has REST API interface, Plug can connect securely with it. You just need to configure, do a one-time configuration from this interface. You configure the endpoints, and boom, you're done. And you can then start to use the integration however you want. And lastly, because of time, um, so you can also now build dashboard. That is a fantastic benefit that Plug offers, because normally you need another tool to now build visualization for your processes or for your data. And because data may not even reside together, so it then gets difficult to even build that automation, to build that dashboard. But Plug brings everything together: your processes, your data, and from one source you can automate, you can visualize as well, and you can even integrate your system together. So this is just like a dashboard for monitoring projects. I can see the summary cards here, doing some various analysis as well, different charts indicating some critical components of project management, monitoring the task by status, by module. I mean, just any kind of visualization that you want. And this will fetch the data in real time from whatever source. Configuration is very seamless. So you connect to whatever data source that you want, whether the data is residing in Plug or elsewhere. you connect it once, and you do not need to come here again to connect or do any configuration. I can export it out in PDF. And one big thing again here is that you can even configure this to be delivered by email. So as you are looking at this dashboard as it is right now, you can configure this and schedule it to be delivered by email. Say maybe Monday morning, 8 a.m. You want this dashboard to be delivered to the CEO and maybe the senior management in their email without anybody coming here to trigger it. Once you activate it here, it will send out on schedule. So that is one big thing that is very difficult to come by on platforms like this. And we are able to build all of this because we have studied a lot of platform. We are a technology company, and we know the challenges that organizations face generally when they want to automate their processes. And we have used this knowledge to now build a solution that will fill the gaps, and we solve the pain point of these businesses. So these are the feature at a very high level for how the platform works. So because of time, I think maybe take questions, maybe around the product or on no code generally that the attendees may have. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, 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 Abdugani, thank you so much. And looking at this interface of for the plug, it really seems very seamless and hassle-free. Someone who is very lay in no code can actually just go through this and just get their things done. I mean, this is really, really beautiful. Thank you so much for this presentation. So I have a few questions here. Firstly, John is asking, he said, what processes can plug automate?
Okay, just quickly. So there is no restriction really about the kind of processes that Plug can automate. So there is flexibility for the business owners to automate whatever kind of process that they want to automate. And as you can see here, there are some sample processes uh, from several departments. So this is an account process, this is an HR and finance process, staff claim, staff onboarding is an HR process as well. Incident report is more of operations, procurement as well. Loan application and management, property valuation and acquisition, facility management. I mean, just any kind of process that exists in organizations. And we do not even need to understand the process before they can use Plug to automate it, because Plug is just a platform for the organizations to then use to automate the processes as they want. They will build the interface to their taste and also implement the business logic, the workflow as exactly as they have it, or even make it better, improve how their business operations are conducted today. So that flexibility is obtainable on Plug. In short, no restriction on product process.
Okay, thank you very much. John, I hope you've gotten that very clearly. Plug is not restricted to any usage. You can automate whatever process you need in your business with Plug. So Hereta is also asking Abdugani. He said Hereta says, how can I get Plug for my business?
Okay, yes, it's quite straightforward. You can just visit plugonline.io and you can request for a demo. You can request for a demonstration, and so you can click on request for demo and you get a form that you can fill to request for demonstration. And you can also do a self onboarding. So when you register, it gives you access to do some little things. You can do some little automation, and but comes with some restrictions. But then you get to get familiar with the platform and see how the platform works generally. But yes, we are very much available to guide you through or showcase the products for your organization in depth. Also guide you on how you can use Plug to even make your business operations better. So either way is fine, but we are always very available to run a personalized demonstration for you and your organization.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Abdugani. So, Hereta, if you want to get Plug, kindly go to www.plugonline.io and you will get the demo process with you. Okay, Kabuzani. Okay, thank you for that. So you can go on and you would get the demo, and you can request for a demo, and definitely it will be given to you. If you need the team to come to your organization to do a physical presentation, they're also very much available for that. So thank you very much, Ami, for answering that question. Then Kende is asking, how much does plug cost? Because I have been spending so much on FX lately using my platform. So I want to know how much plug costs. Can
Yes,
you?
that is one of the big challenges that Plug has come to solve. Many organizations are paying a lot because of the foreign exchange rate going high every time. So one critical thing here is that Plug charges in naira. So we charge you in naira. So you do not have to worry about foreign exchange rate. And we have a very fair pricing policy for Plug, which is tied to the usage. So which means that you do not need to pay for what you do not even need. So we have a subscription-based model that is very fair, and we invoice you based on the expected usage for the platform, and you can easily track how you are consuming the subscription from your own end as well. So we have different tiers for subscriptions generally, depending on how many users you want, the kind of applications that you want to build, and all of that. So we have that very flexible pricing for Plug. So let's just have conversation, then you get more clarity around how the pricing works.
Okay, thank you again. So, Kende, kindly just visit www.plugonline.io and you get all the information that you need, specifically keeping in mind that Plug charges basically in Naira. So, your FX problem will definitely be solved. So, thank you very much, Kende, for that question. And I believe that a lot of us have been having that question in mind. The FX is not funny at the moment. It keeps fluctuating, and it really either is increasing cost or affecting you one way or the other. But Plug has come ease that process and review is as those before we call it one last question before we call it a day. So someone is asking, actually, she said, no code platform crash, platform crash.
Okay, so I'll let Ibrahim take that. But yes, depending on how it is built and how the configurations are done, but you have on no code, you have a better chance of building a stable application and tested more flexibly than even the conventional way of building application. But yes, Ibrahim, you can also speak to this as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Abdugani. Like every other app, there is no scratch-free kind of app out there. Even WhatsApp, Facebook, those are the applications that they spend millions of dollars, to actually build the infrastructure for, right? So there's a lot of things that contribute to apps crash, right? It could even be the end users, itself. Maybe your phone is not actually good enough to actually withstand the application stability, right? So there are a lot of things that contribute to that. So any app can actually crash. But when it comes to stability kind of thing, no code application are more reliable to actually have like a very very low rate of scratch, because this is an application built with a very amazing infrastructure in mind, compared to maybe you just hire a developer and then maybe the person just spend like 10,000, 20,000 naira to actually buy a server and then build your mobile app on top, right? So it's quite different. So the good example is a plug as an application. So they know that if very large amount of users are going to be using the app, and then plug teams, so they need to spend a reasonable amount of time to actually build a very stable infrastructure, right? So that's how it works. Thank you.
Okay, very much, Ibrahim. Thank you for answering that question. So this question is actually directed to you. Wale is asking, Wale says, your academy, because I am very much no code, no code, right? So how can I get into your
Thank you very much. We run our academy is actually a cohort-based academy. The cohort 8.0 is kickstarting in like a month and few days. So you can check our website at nocodearcade.com, nocodearcade.com. So you're going to see all the information, the category that we have. Even if you want to we have a lot of people mostly outside Nigeria that want to do they don't want to wait till our next cohort, and then we have one-on-one training as well. You are going to get information on our website. Yeah,
okay?
thank you.
So just for that, these questions are coming. If you have running out of time, you can kindly visit, like we've said, www.plugonline.io to for your questions to be answered, or you can also follow Abdugani on LinkedIn and also follow Ibrahim also on LinkedIn, and you can have your questions answered. But for now, we're drawing the cutting questions because we have promised that we will keep to time by our words by keeping to time. So much, Abdul Ghani. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for joining us today. I think this has so much knowledge that you have dropped, on our laps, and we are so grateful. Just just amazed to say at all. As long as you are consistent, you can go into tech. And I mean, look at the amazing things that we are seeing, different platforms that we can use to actually build on our craft and build on our career. Thank you so much. And for businesses looking to scale up at the same time, also minimize cost, Plug is here for you to be able to use and automate your business processes. Plug is here to solve that FX situation that you're facing and make your business run smoother and better. And of course, more efficiently. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We cannot thank you enough. And thank you to all our participants today for joining us. Of course, this is not the only webinar we'll be having. We'll be having other webinars coming up, and I just want to introduce you to the next webinar that will be coming up. Of course, let you we're going to let you know about it, but the topic will be AI revolution, transforming business operations. AI revolution, transforming business operations is something that you do not want to miss at all. So make it a date with us next time as we discuss this groundbreaking topic that is AI is everywhere now. Everybody's talking about AI, one platform for AI or the other, how AI is making life easier and better. And that's one of the things that Plug also is here to do, to make your business processes easier and better. So join us next time as we'll delve deep into AI revolution, transforming business operations. Thank you so much for your time. And we hope to get calls from you on how you want to incorporate Plug into your business. So thank you very much and do have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.